After a strong first round for Wellington Turman, the train fell off the tracks in the second round as Jared Gooden was able to put the pressure on him, hurt him numerous times, and then eventually submit him, ultimately crashing the Locky two-step and Locky Trinity. Even though Joaquim Silva and Rodolfo Bellato came through for us, we have to scrap that free parlay from last week. So that ends a little bit of a momentous run that we had over the past couple of, or the previous few weeks, where we were hitting the Locky Trinity and the Locky two-step, but we had to get back to reality after taking an L. Obviously, I got another three, or at least three legs, or the Locky Trinity, Locky two-step for you guys for this weekend's UFC Vegas 83. Just a reminder, if you want it earlier in the week, I do drop it on Mondays or Tuesdays for free on the Patreon page. Nothing you have to sign up for. Just check the Patreon page for the Lock of the Night, MMA LOT and stuff in the description below, and you will be able to get free access to this parlay before I drop it to the public on Thursdays or Fridays. Make sure you guys check that out. All right, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. First leg up that I got for you guys is going to be Melquizael Costa as he takes on Steve Garcia. Obviously, there is the knockout threat from the Steve Garcia side, but I think that Costa's lateral movement, kicking game from range, as well as his grappling advantage once he's able to get this fight to the ground, will be too much for Steve Garcia to keep up with. Add in the fact that Steve Garcia was the reasoning to the fight falling through last week, with him falling ill and unable to cut weight. Now they're fighting at a higher weight class, now at 155 pounds, and I still believe that Steve Garcia will be suffering from the illness that he competed with, or was trying to compete with last week. That will cause him to slow down after a few spirited efforts in the first couple minutes of this fight, trying to take out the head of Costa, but I think Costa will be able to time those shots, change levels, get this fight to the ground, and get his jiu-jitsu going. And I think from there, he gets that submission victory. But regardless, he will be the first step in the Locky two-step. The second step in the Locky two-step is going to be Tim Elliott. He comes in on short notice up against Sumari at 135 pounds. And I think stylistically speaking, this is a great matchup for Tim Elliott. He is the flyweight leader in takedowns for flyweight in terms of their entire UFC flyweight career. And I think he's going to bring that style once again in this matchup, which is a huge flaw in the game of Sumari. Sumari might have a technical striking advantage, but I think that the awkwardness that Elliott brings to the table here will allow him to eventually find that takedown and get this fight to the ground where he can eventually work for a submission victory, something that Sumari has come up short against in the past couple losses that he has on his record. So give me Tim Elliott there. And again, so I'm just going to say, sometimes this Locky Trinity, Locky two-step, if we get them earlier in the week, sometimes they're better odds than later in the week. Sometimes they're worse odds. And in this case, they're worse odds. I got plus 109 earlier this week for that Locky two-step. As of this moment, you can get plus 146 on Bet Online. So credit to anybody that wanted to wait on the parlay and take a shot on that. There was some obvious action against Tim Elliott that brought that line down a lot more. So if you hop on it now, you'll get better odds than that. But in terms of tracking for the record that I'm showing in the description of this video, I'm going to stick with the odds that I got when I dropped the parlay earlier in the week, just for transparency's sake. If you want to complete the Locky Trinity and add a third fighter, I'm going to go with the Iron Turtle Junyoung Park as he goes up against black belt Andre Muniz. I think that Park has a good enough pressure and pace type of style that he's going to force Andre Muniz to work. And we know Muniz has a bit of a gas tank issue. And if Muniz is unable to get an early submission in this matchup, I think he's going to suffer from the pace and pressure that Park will be putting on him, allowing Park to get the finish probably in the third round of this matchup. Earlier this week, like I said, better odds on the Locky two-step, which means we're going to get, earlier this week it was worse odds on the Locky two-step, which means you're getting better odds on the Locky Trinity if you get it today. I got plus 225 earlier this week when I threw Junyoung Park into the parlay, but now you can get that parlay at plus 286. So make sure you guys lock that in if you're feeling what I'm throwing down. There you guys go. The Locky Trinity and Locky two-step for you guys. Free parlay for UFC Vegas 83. I will see you guys later this evening for the 3 best prop bets. Peace.